And before, let's welcome back Angela Hill. Angela, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. We appreciate your time. And we always say this, one of the most active fighters in the sport. I think you just fought, 90 days ago? And I'm curious, does it feel like 90? Does it feel like 3 days ago? Does it feel like 6 months ago? How long ago does that fight feel to you?
It feels recent, but still like far away. Like if it were up to me, I'd fight every other weekend. So to be able to get back in there this soon, I'm happy about that. Last couple of years, I was only able to fight twice in the year, so I'm hoping I could get 3 in this year.
Would you have enjoyed the old UFC back in the day when I was covering it at UFC 1, where it was the tournament? And because I was going to joke and say I'm sure that you would have liked to have fought twice in the same card. Would you have liked to have been in the tournament in the old days?
Oh, yeah. I think that's fun. I like all that gladiator type stuff. If there were group fights, I'd probably be down for that too, I'm just down for the violence, and it's fun getting in there and scrapping and see what you're made of. So I've always been the type of person that's like willing to do the crazy stuff.
So Angela, right before you came on, we actually talked about, fighting inside like a bullfighting arena or like the original Coliseum, like the original gladiators did. Do you prefer like where you fight, if it's Apex or in a stadium or outdoors? Like, what's your favorite?
And I like the big crowds. I like when you do something cool and you can feel the energy of the crowd just go, like that roar is something that you don't get in the Apex. But the nice thing about the Apex is that you can hear your corners. The workout rooms are perfect for getting ready for MMA fight. Like most locker rooms that you're in a big arena, It's all lockers on the wall, so you're like doing wall work with like a locker sticking into your back, So there's definitely advantages to fighting in the Apex, but I really do love like slapping the fans' hands on the way in and out. And I've fought in some big arenas too, like Mexico City is one of the biggest in the world, and that thing was packed from the beginning to the end of the night, and I really enjoy that environment.
As a fat, old, out of shape person,
don't meet him, Mike.
I like the Apex. I like the Apex because it's easy to get out. There's no traffic.
That's true. They got a nice big parking lot.
Exactly.
Well, most important, though, Angela, is the money the same in the Apex as it is in a bigger arena?
Hey, it's the same.
Exactly.
So I'm like, if the night goes by smoother at the Apex, put me in the Apex. I'm good.
Exactly.
Not bad getting out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Saturday night back in the octagon. Your thoughts, your opinions on Tabitha?
I like her. I think she's a good fighter. I think I think I'm more dangerous in a lot of areas, but you can't make a mistake against her. She's going to capitalize on it. She's going to jump on it, and she knows how to win rounds too. So I have to be very conscious of my output. I have to make sure that I'm having a lot of big moments in there when I fight her, and just try to play my game as much as possible.
How much goes into the prep for a fight of the opponent? I mean, we always talk about this. It's not so much what the opponent's going to do to you, it's what you're going to do to the opponent. So how much time, effort, goes into, what Tabitha does, what some of her tendencies are?
We watch a little tape, but I've been letting my coaches do more of the tape watching than me. I think before I could get an idea in my head and just cling on to it to the point where I'm forcing things. So I like to just have an idea of how the fight's going to start, but that's the only thing you really know from watching tape is what they're going to start off with. Once the fight starts, they've never fought you, you've never fought them, so crazy stuff could happen that you've never seen on tape. So I try to keep an open mind when I get in there and just focus on improving my abilities, improving the things that I feel like I'm good at, fixing some weaknesses that I might have seen in my previous fights, and then going forward a better fighter.
Angela, it's Mike here. You know, I've interviewed you a long, long time ago. And just like Rose Namajunas, I interviewed her during her first few fights in UFC. And then to hear you guys speak now, as opposed to years ago, it's like night and day. Do you feel like you've not only grown as a fighter, but as a professional personality? Because the way you come across, even on the radio and on television, it's just you're so relaxed, and this is just part of the game now. How far has that journey led you to be so calm right now?
I mean, I've just been doing it longer than I've been doing anything else. It's kind of crazy. Like, a lot of people don't know, but I went to art school, so I really thought that was going to be my profession right now. Like, I'd be working in an animation studio or something, or doing graphic design for some company, working in an office. But that was lifetimes ago, and I've been a professional fighter for 10 years now. So you learn on the job. You learn how to speak to people. You learn how to, I guess, figure out your own thoughts on what your game plans are. And yeah, it's just another day in the office. I feel like I'm a senior executive at this point when it comes to being a fighter. So yeah, just time in there. Whenever I see one of my old interviews, I cringe.
Yeah. Oh, we feel the same way. Like, I watch myself interviewing people when I was younger, and I cringe. But, you know, I got a question for you, though. This weekend here in Tampa, we have a comic book convention, and it's very, very exciting for a lot of people. You know, all of those comic conventions around the country. If you still were a graphic designer, would you think that you would be working in sort of like a graphic novel? Would it be comics? Would it be movies? Or would you be designing, like, signs for a local company?
I think my dream job would be to be in video game design. I remember when I was, back when I was interning at places, I was looking at all the art that went into Grand Theft Auto 4. And I'm like, man, I'd love to do like the package design for a fake product in a video game. You know, little dumb stuff like that. Things that require you to be very detail-oriented, like drawing out the patterns of gravel on the ground, that type of stuff. So I feel like I'd be into something like that, or some kind of animation when it came to making things move in a video game, or for TV shows, or even commercials, something like that. I think I'd be really into that.
I've never even thought about like gravel in Grand Theft Auto. You know, you're playing the game. You don't think that's I got to go home and play the game just so I can look at some of that other stuff that I've probably never even looked or noticed for.
Yeah, there you go. Zoom in. Pay attention to it. Somebody's job was to make that magazine that's torn up on the ground. Like, that was somebody's job. They got paid to do that.
That's crazy. Your job is coming up on Saturday when you get back in the octagon. What can all the fans expect when you and Tabitha go at it?
The fans can expect the women to show out. I think whenever female fighters get put on a big platform, people scoff and they're like, I'm going to the bathroom, and then they watch the fight and they're like, oh, and it's a cycle that keeps repeating itself.
Yes. Yep.
So we're just gonna smash that stigma again. We're gonna get out there, put on a show, and I'm looking for a finish. I don't want to go to decision with her, so that's the goal.
So Angela, speaking of stigma, I mean, you obviously have a positive personality. You're always like the ultimate company woman, willing to take fights all the time, anytime. You know, do you ever think about playing a heel? Have you ever thought about doing like a not so nice persona just to kind of change it up for the fanfare?
It's hard, man. Like, I need someone to be mean to me before I can be mean to them. I feel like they know I'd win in the mean contest, so most people are really nice to me. So I don't like dishing it out when they don't deserve it. But if they deserve it, man, I can put on a show for sure.
All right, give me the insight. Over under your next fight after Saturday. You're not looking ahead, and I'm not asking you to. Over under, we'll say 120 days. Will you fight under the 120 or over the 120 days?
Will I fight before or after?
Right, exactly.
before.
That's overkill for you right there. Angela, thank you very much for your time again. I know we have your address. We're going to send you another care package from 8 Man Strong, from Bucked Up Energy Drink, as well as Roasted Whisk. I'll send you a nice care package of coffee and teas.
Ooh, thank you.
Enjoy the week and enjoy Christmas morning, Saturday.
Thanks so much.
Take care. Angela Hill, there you have it. UFC returns.
I feel like Angela Hill. Last night, you turned me into a heel. I walk in, I walk out.
We're talking about dinner. Matt wasn't invited to dinner, and he came anyway. We were at the Bonefish Grill, and Matt wanted pizza.
Yeah.
They said we don't serve pizza here, and Matt said, "All right, I'm leaving," and turned around and walked.
See, I refrained. I was going to say more.
Yeah, go.
I was going to say more.
Bring it on. What's the HR department number here at Cool Breeze?
I was just going to say you didn't walk in and walk out.
Well, I left my uniform behind. Now, that was a regret.
You walked in and were told to get out.
Well, I wish I would have picked up my uniform on the way out. I will make sure I pick up my uniform on the way out.
That ain't yours. No way. All right, let's go ahead. A quick break coming to you live from the
I'm a company man.
Cold Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio. I had a great line to introduce you last night, just so you know. You would have loved it, and you'll never hear it.
Well, I'll miss it because I missed the first softball.
We'll be right back. Ain't that true?
All right, this is Don King, and I'm listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris. Join me. Don't touch that dial. We got something in store for you.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all